fighting each other. Both fighters also wearing the same white trunks with the black trim. Boogie, though, rocking that Muhammad Ali look with the red gloves, the black skin, and the nice haircut. Landon rocking the all.
Ooh!
Already trying the spin move.
What do we got to name that move, right? Okay, so that Boogie tried to hit the spin punch. We can't call it. I'm gonna call it the, I don't know, man, the Boogie Oogie. The, what are we calling it? The Boogie back fist. What do we need to give that move a name? Because chat, if you guys don't know, Boogie is known to get down with the get down. He will hit you with the turnaround punch, the final tap, the TAP at a moment's notice. I've never seen him knock anybody out with it, but he promises that in this here version, it's a powerful punch. Yeah,
and he is really good with it. You know, I don't think it's one of those things that, you know, you land because it's the most effective punch, but you land it because you want to win over the fans, right? That's one of those things where you hit him with the spin punch, and then that is, you know, that's...
Look, here's the thing. You knock somebody out with a spin punch, we get a good camera shot, you will be cemented in my heart forever. I will always reference you in the history of the greats, right? I have yet to see a spinning back fist knockout in this version, I will say. So yeah, I'm looking for, theoretically though, for those of you guys who are not familiar with how this game works, shout out to Sir Too Quick in the chat reminding us that Boogie won the first fight with these two. So looking for Boogie to try to see if he can win the second round. But in this game, when you're thinking about what counts as a punch damage, someone asked earlier if endurance matters. You're A, using your own endurance, B, distance traveled, speed, right, measured in velocity in this game when you hit someone, and is your wrist straight on the trajectory of the hit when you land the hit, right, are the main factors of what gets the down. Now, the turnaround punch, in theory, travels a lot, should have a lot of velocity, and if he can stick the landing on that and hit someone and have him coming in, I think he could get the knockout.
Yeah. I think that the difference, though, you can't have it do that super wide angle. I think you're better off with like a quick spin and like a punch on the inside, right? Because I think you're messing with how the game decides the form of your fight and of your move. But special moves aside, just the fundamentals are working pretty well for both of these fighters so far. Boogie is really sharp at those counters. I've seen Landon with that ugly face a few times. That being said, Landon knows how to throw some quick hands as well, right? Whenever he almost reminds me of like a skinny Andy Ruiz, if you've ever seen him. He's just got really fast hands and he knows how to throw it, even if like he's not.
True. Hey, that's a good observation there, man. Locking in with the chat, we got some people asking how they get in. We're gonna let you know how to get in here in a bit. A lot of people feeling very confident right now that they could beat the fighters that show up on the exhibition matches, and I would love to see it, Solly. I would definitely love to see it, but let's lock in with this fight here. Round number 1 coming to a close. Who do you think you got up on this in this run back?
Hard to say because it's a close fight with two good fighters, but I'm going to give this one probably a slight edge to Boogie, at least from the angles that I was seeing, right? He had rocked with the ugly face a little bit less, and I just think he was doing a better job of being a little bit more defensively responsible, right? That being said, could see it going in Landon's favor, right? If his punches are landing with a lot of damage, you know, he is throwing a pretty high volume, so I could see it going either way, but I'm leaning Boogie.
Okay.
Coming back from the dead.
Now, if you were
weird Undertaker,
if you were Boogie, right? Are you trying to land the turnaround punch again? Are you going for the glory, or are you going for the dub?
No, I think you go for the dub safely, and then you throw it out if you think you are, you know, if you have it in the bag.
Get ahead first. I see. Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I rock with that. What do you think?
Like, I wouldn't put my hopes on that punch saving me if I was from behind. I would put that. I would use that punch as, like, you know, to cap off like a really dominant performance.
That cement you in history. There would be no third game with that. Looking at her. So it's Landon in the blue corner, Boogie in the red corner.
Yeah, Boogie is he's got the red gloves. He's got the Muhammad Ali.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I got them mixed up there. Thank you there. So it's Landon was the one with the turnaround punch, not Boogie. A little bit of a mistake on my part. Let me go ahead and correct that, because we're not seeing Muhammad Ali throwing any turnaround punches right now. We're seeing Boogie play a pretty solid game, I think, here as we come into round number 2. Good head work coming in, keeping it defensively responsible for such a big man, and tags your boy Landon on the way out. Landon now hurt. You see him with the ugly face trying to rock from side to side. That's the dance of escape. That's a man running around in a cage feeling trapped right there. And Boogie putting down the work.
And I love what you're saying, right? Boogie, the bigger man, right? Super good at defending all parts of his body, but even then, right? Landon coming in and just finding these really just fast strikes, right? He's just kind of got this hit and run strategy for him, and very effective in V3 too, right? Because like the 2v1, just want to come in, get a couple shots, and get out, reset that, and turn down the spam. But I like to say, Boogie, right? He's just good at guarding all parts of him, despite being the bigger fighter, right? He's really good at not also just blocking the punches, right, but blocking the clinches by getting out of the way. Or I should say, dodging them.
Ooh, a little bit of taunt coming down from Boogie, though. Man, say, you too short, bro. Not tall enough to take this ride, but you tall enough to fall, bro. Ooh, nice combination coming in from Boogie, working some shots, getting tangled up in a cheeky right hook coming from the outside. I do love that Boogie, even when they get tangled up, he's always finding ways to land just that extra shot. Boogie taunting him to come on in, giving him the matador pose. Come on, charge at me again. And that's a dangerous. You don't want to take that charge at all. If you're caught coming in, you're going to get extra damage in this game.
Moving forward is dangerous. It comes in with extra damage that you take and not extra damage that you give. And Boogie knows that really well. And I think that's probably the advantage that he's found this whole fight, is that for the most part, he is getting engaged on, but he's not like letting that pressure him. Look at that, right? The smooth backstep, catching the shots on the body, trying to use head movement and backstep to avoid the shots to the head. I do think Landon, though, might have had a few more shots that round. I would say this fight is probably split 1 round apiece, one to Landon, one to Boogie.
I think the third round is really where it's going to make or break it. You usually call it the open goalie mode. So if you're just now watching, right? A lot of the time we do a 3-round format. 1, it allows to ranked. It keeps it quick. We get more fights in that way. But 2, it's easy to game plan around. Round 1, you discover. You try to find out as much as what your opponent can or cannot do without revealing your hand. Round 2 is the adjustment. Make your game plan, adjust it, try to set the trap, try to close it down. And round 3 should be the big payout round if the game plan goes well. So right now, both boxers got to be looking across the aisle and saying, how am I going to take this guy down, right? The keys to victory, Solly, what do you think they are as we come into this third and final round?
Okay, ready?
So here's the thing, right? I don't think either fighter needs to really go into that open goalie mode. So I think the key to victory is just staying locked in, as cliche as it is to say, right? But you only really need 1 knockdown to feel like you're ahead on this card, right? Both fighters haven't been knocked down yet. So you're probably looking at 10-9s on the scorecard, right? So 1 knockdown, that gives you at least a 10-8, if not a 10-7, if you can really put some more damage or domination behind it. So this is the goal here is actually stay safe and, really trust in your win condition at this point. If you think that you've got it out on the damage, right, you should feel pretty comfortable and you should just continue what you're doing the whole fight. If you feel like you're behind, you've got to change something.
Just got to outbox the other guy, man, and that's what it's all about. Hit and not be hit, but there you go. Damage or domination, like you said, and your boy Boogie chose domination.
7, 8. Hey, are you okay?
That was a beautiful couple of shots from Boogie.
Ready?
Just a big 1-2 putting Landon down. And after being so defensively responsible for most of the fight, right, avoiding the big shots, he finally takes those and hits the canvas. Now he is definitely got to be at best, right, at the ball. At worst, he is way behind.
And he's got to be careful too. He cannot press on the gas too much in desperation to try to come back at this point. That damage system is gonna get goddamn the repeat. The three-peat again, and I just said you got to be careful stepping in like that, especially because his gloves are a little far down. You want to come back. You're exposing yourself. Now you're making mistakes. Now you're setting yourself up for big damage.
Yeah, now this fight is quickly getting out of hand, and now there is 2 ways to lose for Landon. He could get knocked out a 3rd time, or it could be... But at this point, he's really open going look for him. He's got to find 3 quick knockdowns.
Yeah.
I don't think Boogie's going to let him get him with that 1-hit KO. He's just been too defensively responsible. And for the most part, he hasn't been rushing in, right? And that's where you're going to catch the 1-hit KO.
Yeah, I just don't see 3 knockdowns happening. Not in less than like 40 seconds left on the clock. I think, you know, if Boogie just has to stay the course, bro. He's just got to stay the course. He's going to continue doing what he's going to do, and he's not going to change his game plan. And this might be curtains for your boy Landon.
I think so, and Boogie really cementing himself in this rematch. Has to be feeling good about that round 3 performance. I'm really interested to see if they were really close to me, but you know, Taylor's hit might tell a different story.
It might. And it's always, oh damn, the standoff. Mexican standoff there at the end. And right, that's a beautiful way to end the fight. Give us a firefight. You know what I'm saying, chat? Hope y'all feeling that fight. Boogie putting on a performance. Landon trying to find the terrible turnaround punch, but Boogie with the steady boxing, clean counters, double 1-2s for the knockdown, takes it home for the W. And let's go ahead and see what the scorecard says. I think I'm still stuck in the match here, Solly.
Yeah, the players have to let us out.
There we go. we're trapped there for a bit.
The what? One weakness of the... Oh, no, where's the... There it is. Okay. Oh, no. Did you get the...
I did not.
Yeah, okay.
Something happened. We could not see the scorecard there. I'm going to switch back. Chat, what's good? I'm locking in with you guys while we set up here. Hope y'all enjoyed that fight. Let's see what the homies got to say. So, Landon, Boogie, let's see. I want to hear from both of y'all. First off, I want to hear from Landon. And if you guys have any questions for the boxers, always feel free to drop them in. I will pick one that I feel is apropos, if you will, and I will ask. So who do we got first on the mic, fellas?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, Landon. Landon. Now, you have one of my favorite punches in this game, the turnaround punch. We talked about this a little bit last time. I almost thought you were going to land it this time. Do you ever think one day you will get a knockdown with that punch?
I will, but so far as the fight, I said I'm only gonna do one in the beginning.
Yeah.
And take it serious. I had the first 2 rounds, just he got it in the end with them 2 knockdowns.
It was tough. The 2 knockdowns were textbook, man. And we'll get Boogie's POV on that. But you were doing pretty good up until the first knockdown. What do you think was the thing that kind of led to that?
Honestly, I was kind of trying to get a knockdown. I kind of let my guard down, thinking, oh, I already got the 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I get like that too many times.
The counter hits, man. V4, it's crazy. But look, man, I hope you come back next week. Hope we see you again, dude. It was fun seeing. One day I do want to see the turnaround punch knockdown. We got to get, if you can think of a name, any name to give that punch. I think you name it after you knock somebody down with it, and then it's that's your WWE finisher.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a name for it, but I'm not gonna expose it yet.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for the surprise. All right, Boogie, let me holler at you, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Look,
All right.
you had a good fight. It was close there for the first round. I feel like we didn't get to see the scorecards, but just from visuals, it looked like it was close. We weren't really sure who was going to come out on the end, and then out of nowhere, smack bang, a wonderful 1-2 comes out. The right puts him down. How were you feeling in that moment?
The same as last fight. I already knew I was gonna win.
Damn.
I was talking too quick. I was like, I'm going for a knockout, or I'm gonna just piece him up for the whole fight.
Damn. Damn, he said the same way I felt as last time, bro. It's another day of business. Were you expecting that second knockdown, though?
Nah, I thought I was just gonna hit the full count. I didn't think I was gonna knock him down.
Man, that thing looked beautiful. And it was just Round saying, hey, don't walk in, bro. Don't get too greedy. You're already down. It ain't gonna help. Bink, bink. And he was down on the ground. So now that you've won twice, I think, here, right? You won the first one, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. I think this might be concluded, right? Anybody you want to shout out before we hop off any other challenges?
Nah.
All right, we're going to keep it locked in, man. Look, congratulations on the W, man. Your boy, Sir Too Quick, was in the chat hyping you up. It was a good fight, man. We always love to see it. And so thank you for coming in, and we hope to see you here next time, bro.
All right.